Sorry, folks. Baby got back. She's helping with the pain that I'm having. She gets right on top of me when I need to have some pressure release or whatnot. Hang on a second here. Technical difficulties. Her booty's trapped on the. Never a dull moment when you have a Hannah Grace. Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, yep, yep, yep. There we go. How about that? So I just wanted to give everybody an update. I I took 7 full droppers yesterday, and what I was experiencing internally never felt in my life. I mean, I could feel like I had a lot of pressure that had been building up, and I had to put this, the night before, I had to put a heating pad around my head, plus the corn that I sewed into one of my dad's hoodies. I put that on top of my head. Then I had these eye masks that were heated up in the microwave on my face because of pressure in my face. It was killing me. It hurt so bad. Um, so that's when this episode, because this is like an episode on top of I'm on day 38 that I've been down. This is the longest I've been down. And when you start adding everything up, and only Harley needed only 2, and I took 7 yesterday, a 1 to 9 ratio, and I never felt stoned. All it was doing was attacking the pain, and I didn't take it until I was pain free. I took it still until I still had an edge, so I still had control over how much I was dosing myself, so I didn't get myself to a comatose state. When my father was in hospice care, he was comatose by pharmaceuticals. This is a better trip because death isn't pain free. Nothing in life is easy. And to think that death would be, well, that's not easy either. Because when you think about, if today was going to be your last day, what are you going to do with it? What are you going to do with your time? Well, those things that you think that you can do, when you realize you're at that point in your life, you can't do them anymore. I couldn't even go out and sit by the pool yesterday. My pulse was down in the 40s. I mean, I could just feel my whole body was just, but I still had pain. So instead of going to 8, I decided to just try 7. And I was able to take off the edge, but I can already feel the pain building again in my heart. And I only took 2, so I'm going to have to take 2 more here. Yeah. There's just certain pressures that cause a different type of pain that when it starts to get behind my boob, the easiest way for me to describe it, because that's what it is. It's okay. And I mean, she knows. My double doses are getting closer together. Hmm. Why, that's a feather. Just a little twisted up. I've never seen a feather look like this. Hmm. Um, my so that's my second dose, so I'm not up to 4. And my doses are getting closer together. It's kind of hard to get 3 to sink in faster, but I try to do it in 2s. So don't work for a living so much that you don't have life. I had a life, a full life, and I led a full life. The only difference was I wish I had some obedience. I mean, I did, but I didn't. I wish I would have been obedient back then. But you know what? I learned a lot about people. I learned a lot about life. I learned a lot about myself. And I have no regrets. How can we? They were the choices we made. But what if the most important decision of your life that you keep putting off, you should be making today? I mean, there's only 2 choices, heaven or hell. And have you decided which way you're going? Have you been obedient? Have you repented? You know, when I had that vision, and they were real, and I know Hannah brought me out of it. And I haven't called hospice yet, but I'm pretty sure I need to take care of that. Because I want them to be here, to witness it a natural way. It's a better way to go. It's when I watched Harley, you know, and it's back in August when we did the test, Renee, and she was defiant about it. Perfect word. I'm reading that and I'm like, where is this? Why am I looking at that all of a sudden? I need to move. It's been a fun journey, being totally obedient and where he leads me and what happens. But back in August when she went down the first time, and I wanted to see what one little drop, not a full dropper, one little drop would do to her. And it was amazing how it started because she has a strong heart like me. I mean, she lived till past 17. What a gift for a Rottweiler. Because I stopped listening to man. Our dogs don't need all that poison in their bodies. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you think they do. But you know what? They don't. They just need to go see my doctor so they can see what poisons have entered so we can take them back out. Bring them back down to natural state. You know, the perfect where God knitted you in the womb. So, have you made your choice where you're going to go and you're happy with that decision? Or are you going to be at the last minute saying, oh my gosh, was I thinking, this isn't funny? I don't know. But I'm assuring you, is if I'm going to start having visions of what's happening, oh, I'm going to share with the world because he's going to want me to share them with the world. Because people need to know, and I will share it in great detail. Like just looking for an image. I mean, I could sketch. I guess I could try to sketch it myself what I saw. Maybe I'll try to do that today. I don't know. They were lined up though, in a row, and I don't know if there were 3 or 5. I can't. There was just so much activity that, from her laying on my arm, and I always feel my girls get up. Always. They wake me up. I wasn't woke up. It took her making the sound of wanting to vomit that literally woke me up. But her getting off of the bed did not wake me. So I was in a deep sleep. And then she barked. That really woke me up. So, and I saw like, it was dark, but I want to say there was brick on the outside walls. It's really fuzzy still. But there was a light. When I looked up, I saw a light on a lamppost. So it's weird how I'm starting to see more of the details because that's all I'm about my whole life. So I'm like, okay, you come on, brain, you've got to be able to get the details out of what you saw. So I'm sure there's going to be more pieces of it that come, but I got to believe that if I'm going to have more of these, you bet I'm going to share them with you guys. Because you need to understand the magnitude of what heaven and hell are like. I know people have shared them, but what part of that are people not understanding? Be holy and repent. You've got to make atonement before it's too late. Before it's too late. Yesterday I watched, after they delivered breakfast, because I didn't have the strength. I didn't have the strength to take her out until, was it 3? 3 yesterday. So it was earlier than the day before. But I watched Wonder Woman. Almost like I needed that empowering to go to battle when I saw that vision. Because I'm not sure yet if they were there to make me scared or what, but I just, it was just like, I'm in fight or flight mode. If I've got to beat them all the way to heaven, well, bring them on. I'll knock them all out. I don't care. I'm defiant, remember? I always have been. But this ongoing chest pain is different when you're on this side. And I say this side because I'm in a whole different journey in life. When my old life ended October 15th, my new life began October 16th, 2019. And it has been continuing on. So that's my reference in my own mind. another flyover. I started that with Harley. And she got really excited because I said it was her Harley Goes to Heaven party. And I said that to Hannah yesterday. She just kind of looked at me. And she's kind of in denial, but she understands. She just watching me like a hawk. She's not being defiant at all. She understands when I say I need your help right now. She is front and center. And thank the Lord I moved the bed and everything when I did, because it adds as a chair rail. Like I don't have very much in this room that I don't have a chair rail in, and I have her. So I've got something to grab onto. So, you know, during this whole time I've got all these outside of the box ideas to present to them that, you know, when you're incapacitated, what do? You think. And I wanted to use my creativity in a way that wasn't going to cost money, by just moving some furniture and or maybe minimal money spent. I don't know. That transforms a hotel room at a place in paradise to a bungalow, that when you keep the windows open, you can see the stars at night, or the moon, and the beautiful lighting, and you feel like you're in a tree house. So it just gave me a whole different outlook. And then me and the love of my Coco Cabana back in Indiana. That was our place. Even though we were in sin, that was our place to congregate. And for me to hear those church bells at Trinity, was amazing. It was amazing to have Jesus in your backyard. And to walk to church. That was the greatest thing in the world. I never thought about it being a dream come true, but I never dreamt that I could walk to church. I mean, it was literally in my backyard. Got to get by on a laundry Paul Thomas to get there, but it is what it is. But when you start really appreciating life, or look at life like I have my whole life, I've always looked through life like the eyes of a child. There is a new beast of a dog, and he is it's interesting that and that dog is not even flustered, but she is not liking this. But then when he comes in, her love language completely changes. But right now, she's letting him know I'm the queen of the castle. The pecking order has begun. That's the fun part about, you know, I wanted a monkey to train. And then I was like, what the heck? I've got two monkeys. These two with their tails cropped, docked, look like two monkeys. So why not learn their love languages and let's train each other. So throughout these, so now she's welcoming him in because she knows he's coming in. I mean, I would love for her to just be able to walk out and say, hey, but her size scares everybody. So, and she's just a love bug. I mean, everybody that meets her, like, they're like, she is the sweetest thing on earth. I said, I didn't realize in all the years I've had Rottweilers, and they've all loved me, but I've never had one that's been like a kid, like this one. She is, she is unbelievable how she loves everyone and knows when somebody needs her. She has got a heart like none other, and to watch her swim in the Gulf. I've always wanted a dog that swam, and most Rotties don't want anything to do with it. Harley still didn't even be in here. I mean, she walked in it, but she could have cared less about it. She loved to be on the beach in the heat, sitting in her lawn chair just like me. But this one, she is just like a little kid. Her mannerisms are like a little kid. She pouts like a little kid. If I was giving too much attention to Harley, she would put her back. She would go and pout over by in the dining room at La Costa and pout. And I was like, Hannah, come on now. I can love you both. Just because I'm loving on her doesn't mean I love you any less. I mean, I literally had to sit her down so she could understand it and then explain to her that Harley's, we don't know how much time she's got left. So she needs extra help and needs extra love from mom. And that's where you come in. I need extra love from you because mama needs help. So the three of us just kept working together these last 2 years because frankly, that's the only thing that that I had with outside of him that was constant. And it's okay. Everybody has to make their choices in life, what they choose to do with their time. And I just chose to help others, even though I was constantly going 100 miles an hour. If somebody needed help or somebody was sick, I was cooking soup for them or dropping off a goodie bag or something. That's where this world's got it all wrong. You need to find what when your heart's got hardened and get you on your knees and start making a call to Jesus. Just saying. I kept saying I wanted to save the world. Watching Wonder Woman, that's exactly how I feel. I felt that way the whole time. Save the world with love. It doesn't cost a thing. You don't need money to love one another. It doesn't cost a thing. What's the song? All of a sudden there'll be a song. I swear my dad feeds them to me. Um, at, Roaring 20s. Something. It don't mean a thing if it ain't got that swing. Do up, do up, do up, do up. That's how my whole journey has been this time around. I mean, I've always loved music, but I feel like I'm on a constant um, reality TV show, but it's my own life that I'm living, where, other people are adding music or whatnot where it needs to be added. Mine just is constant messages that are sent to me. I mean, to have a dream or vision, oh, it felt real. I need to, I want to assess my body in it. I mean, now I really have to think outside the box for this next vision, trip, whatever. Where's my body in it? Do I feel it? Am I intact? Obviously I'm not gonna have glasses on it. I want to feel. Am I naked? I've got like all these questions because that's how I function. That's how I function my whole life. I'm constantly questioning everything. That's why the movie The Accountant, to watch him, except I just didn't have that violent side that he had to beat himself. Although I drank, so then I did insanity. So I guess it's your version of what insanity would be. But when I watched that, I was like, yeah, you want to get to the equation, you want to find the answer. And I was asked a question yesterday. If you had to look for money on a set of books, where would you look? I said consumables. Um, that's where your biggest theft is in any business, is consumables. Anything they can walk off with. And Pete Legal, that owned Forest River, didn't provide ink pens to their employees. Made them buy their own. Provided everything else. But found ink pens were the most stolen thing. I thought that was really interesting about Pete Legal. And sold the business with a handshake on a boat trip or something to that effect. That's some honor between two people. Even though Pete Legal lived in sin like the rest of us. He had a good heart. Just because you live in sin doesn't mean you don't have a good heart. Trust me. I know a lot of people out there that have great hearts. And they're still choosing to live in sin. And I have to accept it. I can't change it. So if they end up in a place that I don't get to see them, well then I just have to accept that. But it breaks my heart to think that no matter what I have said, people continue to sin. I don't understand. I don't care if you think it's human nature. It's a choice. It's a choice to live and do the things that you choose to do. And you alter. I managed to run off with my Bible. You're rewriting his living book, his living words, to suit your lifestyle while breaking the commandments. When I really, really watched Wonder Woman, I've got my favorites. And I used to have, DVDs, but, computers don't even have those anymore because everything's download, 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 which keeps costs down. I get it. But every time I rewatch one of my favorite movies, there's another message that I get that I never saw before the first time around, or the second time, or the third time. Because if they're my favorites, I've watched them over and over. And P.S. I love you. I couldn't believe it What a great, great movie. And it would have been just fine without the sex scene. It still, you take that out, it still makes it a delightful movie. It didn't need to, him sleeping on the sofa would have been just fine. That whole adultery, committing adultery, didn't need to happen. I know they're consenting adults, but it didn't need to happen. Taking it out of that movie would not make that movie any less. It's all about love. The whole movie was about love. And then they had to add the lust. With the GD. GD and him, I went, now I understand why I had to watch it. It doesn't have to be that way. Everybody says sex sells. When sex doesn't sell, they'll see the error of their ways. Again, it's a choice. It's a choice to be obedient to him, or it's a choice to live your life in sin and think it's acceptable. It's not. It's not. And when you really start understanding the Bible and where we are at in history as I speak, it opens your eyes up to a whole different world. You start looking at things in a whole different light. What was important to you before is no longer important. And when I took this journey, everybody that knew me always knew I loved taxes. I loved them because it was a different equation every day. I was like, oh, yippee. Everybody has, the same type of documents, but no two tax returns are the same. That's not it. That's just impossible. And I love that. For somebody like me that loves math and English and high energy, oh my gosh, that was like input on steroids. Information overload, but my brain was still not. Even after all of that, learning about different companies and behaviors and yada 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 all day long, I still couldn't shut my brain off, because even after all of that, then I'd be like, okay, is there anything else? I'd start thinking of the tax return, and when we were brainstorming in my office about deductions that they may have had or they just didn't think of bringing in, and they, trying to lower their taxable income. This is what would keep me up at night. I would go home and think about, potentially, if you're watching and you're a former client, I could have been thinking about your tax return, and you clients know who you are, that we would sit and talk about your stuff, and racking our brains and I'd say, okay, we're gonna put it on the shelf. Let's table it for a few days and see if we can't brainstorm and come up with some more deductions. So that I'd go home at night and I couldn't sleep, and that's what I'd start doing. Okay, what do we cover? And then sometimes I go to sleep and be doing tax returns in my sleep. I never got rest till I got sick. Because the one positive thing the doctors told me was, your brain needs rest to heal. I was like, well, that's like that's the best medicine that I've ever heard come out of a doctor's mouth in a very long time. Truly. Now, what kind of drugs do we need to prescribe you? That's where they got it wrong. CBD and THC. The answer. Popping a pill is not the answer. Look around. My statistics don't lie on my tax on my tax clients. I mean, I could get data after data. Ages. I mean, I got my own study just for my tax clients of what medical, who had medical, what were their ages? When did a spouse die? What were their ages? When did a child die? What were their ages? What happened to them? I mean, it's unbelievable the data we have as tax collectors. And when you watch it, you go to tax school, then you watch the government, then you're taken out of man's world. I mean, let's just be honest. I haven't been participating since I got sick. Well, since man's world prescribed me a mind-altering drug, which made me want to take my life, which made my brain not think clearly. See where I'm going? With pharmaceuticals, poison, mind-altering, CBD, THC, not. It's enlightening. It doesn't make your, it may, if it's gonna, let me rephrase that. Mind altering, yes, but in a good way, because it takes what you're already thinking to a higher level, not to a darker level, like mine did. Think about that. I was prescribed Xanax, a 90-day supply, with no follow-up. Yeah. No follow-up from that doctor's office after prescribing 90-day supply. Sounds like negligence to me. Just saying. Unbelievable. So instead of that drug helping depression, well, what did it do? It made me want to take my life. See how the dark adds darkness to your life? The dark just gets darker until you see the light and you pull the plug on the darkness. And that's what I did. I did that when I left Indiana. I pulled the plug on the darkness. And people kept saying I was crazy. Yeah, I was insane to keep wasting my lamp oil on a town that didn't appreciate what I was there to do. I was trying to add love, and they were just trying to just take until I had nothing left to give. And then where were they? My crickets. And then when I've watched throughout life and I heard clients tell me these stories, and I just couldn't imagine. I'm looking at my own life like I can't even imagine ever having to live like that. How awful, how cruel can people be? And then I got to see it for myself. I got to see what my dad experienced being, after man's world made me want to hurt myself, put me in a darker state than I could even imagine. It to unplug from Indiana, plug in here, see the little bit of darkness that doesn't worry me one bit because there's so much love here. I'm thrilled to death. And when I'm pouring my lamp oil and telling people I can't tolerate a corrupt government in a place that everybody loves life, they're all cheering me on. Back in Indiana, everybody said, you worry about yourself. It is unbelievable the difference. When you arrive in a place where you thrive. So my journey, even though has been rough and I've struggled daily, it's unbelievable how much I could still do, how much fight I still had when my weight ballooned up to 186 pounds. How I was able to go out and work in my Garden of Eden, preparing for the new family, kings and queens, to move in. Um, I was able to do that, and to think that when I compare where I'm at right now today to that, I'm in a lot worse shape. Um, that's the reality of this journey for me, is I'm able to see it from multiple perspectives. I have my moments of tears, don't get me wrong, and I know that I've shared some of them on my videos. But I've had so much joy throughout this journey, even though I'm fighting and showing people you can fight, don't give in. You fight to stay alive, you fight to use your voice, you fight for what is right. I mean, I can't, I can't preach that enough. And above all, do your homework. He's been dishing out homework our entire lives. And I mean, I've always talked to him. I just wasn't obedient. Dang it. I missed that part. What the heck? Duh. Maybe because I was in the confines of prison when I was growing up, maybe. At least that's how it felt to me. That obedience to him was just not even a thought. Once I got free, I was free. So I just threw obedience out the window, I guess. Literally. But when you come to this point, I've got to hang on. I'm getting quite parched, so hold that thought. So when I'm so excited that apple juice with water is a great electrolyte. She can have it, help with edema. I mean, I'm thrilled to death because Doris last night had offered to get me Pedialyte, and I said, you know what? I don't want the extra crap in me. I'm trying to eat Hannah Grace. That's Pedro. It's okay. We love our window seat. We say good morning to the staff. I love it. And they've been redoing the pool area, and they're going to put tile down. It's going to look spectacular, I'm sure. Um, but anyway, I'm so excited about this whole apple juice and purified water. I had no idea that it had that much health benefits as far as natural electrolytes. That's great. That's super. And she likes it too. So I'm just putting a little bit in her water. She loves it. And she's got carbs in her diet because frankly, you need it down here. You got to have carbs with the heat. You just have to. She's running around. She needs her carbs, just like the birds do. I mean, it's crazy once you get adapted to the environment down here, how health benefit. I mean, it's benefited my health tremendously just breathing the salty air. That's why I'm constantly opening my window, especially in the morning because it's really quiet. just listening to the birds or the squirrels special or the lizards in the tree, the iguanas. Come here, Hannah Grace. Come on. Come here. Come here. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come here. Come on. Want to be on camera? Be on camera? No. You don't want to be on camera? There you go. Now you're on camera. Good. But I'm thrilled I've got another day. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. But again, I have to use my girl Harley's dosage of 2 full droppers. And I had 7 yesterday, and I'm still here today. So I'm at 4 already. The pain has subsided in my chest, so that's a good thing. Since I've been I'm at 46 minutes right now. Sorry to be a chatty Cathy, but I just feel like I need to share as much as I possibly can. Let's read a gift today. I think we're going to read 2 though, because I've got oops. Yeah, I've got 2. Okay, so we're going to read yesterday's is 183, is dealing fairly with others. Now swear to me here before God that you will not deal falsely with me or my children or my descendants. Show to me in the country where you now reside as a foreigner the same kindness I have shown to you. Genesis 21, verse 23. People can be so wonderful stepping in to help you when you find yourself in a jam. But there are also those people who want to take advantage of others, to do all they can to milk situations or make a buck. They're skilled manipulators. Many of them, that's why it's so refreshing to find people who deal truthfully with others. Amen. The truth will set you free. When you find someone like that, say a mechanic or a doctor, who cuts you some slack because you don't have insurance, you've found a friend for life. These fine folks aren't out to snag every dollar they can from you. Rather, they put the needs of others above their own, and always with a broad smile. Today, think back to the many times you were dealt with fairly, and then commit to offer that same kindness to others. That's when you get in the final stages of life and you think about how many people you've helped and how if they were there, you would be helping them. And it's the staff here and I've had some help here too. Don't get me wrong. I've got some love Sierra friends that have been providing food and all kinds of love. So, you know who you are. It's amazing. Lord, thank you for those wonderful business people who deal fairly with others. Business people. How about family? I mean, when I meet somebody, they become family because we're all children of God. I mean, even if I haven't met you, we're family because we're all children of God. How hard is it to look at another person as a family member? Just saying. I'm so grateful for family's kindness. Like I said, everybody's family. It doesn't matter if you're blood or not. We are all from him, so show me how I can reach out to others with that same love, Father, that all might sense your goodness. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Okay, and then today's is 184 is friendliness. And let us consider how to stir up one another to love and good works, not neglecting to meet together, as is the habit of some, but encouraging one another, and all the more as you see the day drawing near. Hebrews 10 verses 24 through 25. You see him every time you pull the car out of the driveway. He's that one neighbor who's always out and about, watering his yard, visiting with the neighbor, fixing a friend's broken fence post, waving at others as they pass by. He's a friendly guy and helpful as well. If a single mom needs her oil changed, he's there. A kid in the neighborhood loses a ball, he finds it. A dog goes missing. He's on the hunt to find him. This fellow is naturally good-natured and known among the neighbors as a good Samaritan. You're drawn to him, too. In fact, you'd like to be more like him. Drawn to others, ready to wave at neighbors passing by. What a precious gift friendly folks are. Indeed. Lord, thank you for making some people extra friendly. There are days when people need a smile, a wave, a handshake, high five. These folks are ready to roll. What a blessing they are. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. I am going to try to read some devotions today since I've got a little more pep in my step. And I've got to see if I can't get the strength to go out to breakfast. I'm going to wait till this next dose kicks in because I feel some odd sensation in my neck right here. But I don't know, my coloring keeps changing. I've noticed that too, so. A little sunshine. Oh wow, look there. Here's another one. That's two. One just kind of poofed in the air yesterday. I was like, where'd you come from? Oh. So anyway, I'm going to end this, I guess my morning chit chat. It's not really my traditional morning chit chat. So let's call this, I don't know. I'll think about it. I'll try to be creative. Gifts. That's what I'll title it. Gift. That way we all have a gift today. We all woke up. And then I gave you two more gifts. Dealing fairly with others and friendliness. And then, of course, my love. Our love. So stay tuned. I've got more coming up. Love to all bunches and bunches. Bye.